Well, we've been at our church for a number of years and felt the Lord wanted us to plant a church, and we were actually considering leaving the church and starting a church somewhere on our own. And really through the influence of studying the Separate Baptist movement, decided it would be best to stay where we are and out of our church plant other churches in surrounding communities. Well, we started looking at communities around us and saw that Princeton was, and we just felt like that would be a good place to start. It was close enough to drive back and forth on Sundays to hold services, and yet it was far enough that we weren't going to get people visiting from that community to our church. Well, what we did is found a building to meet in and just went down on Sunday afternoons and held a service. Brought different people from the church each Sunday, and so we had some workers there and people to greet visitors or nursery workers, whatever was needed, or musicians. Usually I would go down there and preach, and I would just re-preach my Sunday morning message down there. Made the service a little bit shorter. Well, we had a few people that were very interested from the start that we'd met just going out knocking on doors, and a couple of them drove quite a distance to the church that they were attending. We talked to their pastor and got to know him, and he was all for them going somewhere closer. Yeah, when we had been there we'd been meeting on Sunday afternoon for probably a year or so, or a little more than a year. And a lot of folks had made comments, well, if you start on Sunday mornings, we would come, and Sunday afternoon is kind of an inconvenient time for a church service. So we just felt like it was time to make that move, and really by faith just say, okay, we're going to switch to Sunday morning, which meant our assistant pastor had to leave our services. But once he started Sunday morning services, they really picked up quickly. They'd met really just for a couple of months and had enough people interested and had a charter service, and they found a building that was, they were still meeting in a community building, and they found a church building that became available. The evangelical church was moving onto a different store that they'd bought. And this is an old church building that's been through many different churches have used it, and it was available for a very good price, so they went ahead and purchased the building. Then we ordained our assistant pastor to become the pastor after they voted him in as their pastor. Well, I tell you, that it was a very exciting thing for the people in our church to be a part of. From the very beginning, there was a lot of enthusiasm about it, and our church is a very old church. It's the first time anybody knows that we've ever been involved in anything like this. When giving birth to a church, I think it's a struggle for a church to go through, but it's well worth it.